Are you here? Are any of us truly here? Or is this merely an illusion? I think this may merely be an illusion. How goes it, everyone? How are you today? I am doing swimmingly. Hopefully you can hear me. Currently listening to Bleak by Opeth to start things off today. God bless Opeth. God bless Blackwater Park. Just going to sleep. Well, Master Sword, dude, have a great rest. Please do. The douche be here. I have not seen Dope's response as of yet. Oh wait, what was it? I am curious. Please do tell me. But yes, hello everyone. Wasn't sure if I was actually going to stream directly after posting the response video, but I decided, you know what, screw it. I said I was going to stream today. I'm going to stream today. It's the first day I feel, you know, halfway human in about a week. Changing of the seasons have apparently fucked me up big time. We're talking fatigue, we're talking big time upper respiratory BS. It was essentially a mini flu. He and Flynn have been going at it on Twitter. Oh dear. The one thing that I never became super big on following were Twitter wars and Twitter feuds. I think it's because I was always focused on getting the Facebook page up and running and doing all that stuff, and didn't focus on Twitter very much until recently. And even now, I go long stretches without even touching it. Trying to get in the King Diamond / Merciful Fate. Any recommendations, Brad? My recommendation for Merciful Fate is Melissa. Absolutely amazing album. If you listen to Metallica, you will hear a number of tracks from Melissa on their song Merciful Fate from Garage Incorporated. And for King Diamond, the album I actually got into was The Eye. I really like The Eye quite a bit. But Abigail is another terrific suggestion. Yeah, that was Bleak from Opeth. We have some things that we are going to be listening to this evening that have been predestined for us. Considering we are still looking to get through the myriad of requests that we got now a week and a half ago from the last day of the bid war that some of you probably missed. We had somebody request an entire discography, and we got through not even a third of it the last time that we streamed, which is on Saturday. But I do not play songs that people request until they are in chat. And I do not see Meatman currently in chat, so we will move forward without, in the interim, should I say. We will move forward in the interim and move to something else. I'm not quite sure what that is yet. I don't have any real plan for this. I figured that most of you would want to come in and talk about the Robb Flynn situation, considering that has been quite a ridiculous one. I'm halfway tempted to play Baby Metal because that would just be really, really funny. What were your thoughts on Do or Die, folks? How about we start with something simple like that? What were your thoughts on Do or Die by Machine Head? If you haven't gotten a chance to listen to the song yet, just admit it. You're not going to be ostracized for not hearing the song. You're not missing much, if I'm being honest. You are not missing much. Wildrun's good stuff. Annihilator has a couple of great albums that I like a lot. But aside from that, it's just sort of like, You know, Alice in Hell is a great album. I'm a big fan of, actually, let's play a song from Annihilator that is from an album of theirs that I really, really like. Let's just go ahead and do that, since we're looking for things to listen to currently. Also, for those of you who are on Last FM, if you still use Audio Scrobbler, as it was once known as, this is Carnival Diablos by Annihilator from the not at all brand new album. This is from 2001, I think it was. So almost 20 years old. I really love this album. I don't know why. It just is not a thing that I ever grew out of. I just love this disc. But if you are on Last FM and you use that to scrabble your tunes and track what you listen to and all of that, Lightbulb Sun. The S in sun is capitalized and spelt like sun in the sky, not sun as in male child. Allow me to actually type that in chat. There it is over there. Also, I found out that, if you remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I thought that my headphones had died on me. It was not the headphones. It is my sound card. My sound card is going to shit, to the point where I have to have my headphone cord in a certain way and basically pinned down in order for it to work properly. Which is fair considering I've had this laptop for 6 fucking years. But there'll be many, many changes coming for me technologically for the future. Can't wait to move. That's going to be the big thing. Jeff Waters. Oh man, speaking of Jeff, I was listening to... One thing about Last FM is that a lot of the stuff that I had scrabbled over the past 6 years didn't scrabble because I never got the plugins and stuff. So I took like a 6-year break from Last FM. Unironically, without trying to. I just was too lazy to, or just forgot to, get the plugins and everything set up whenever I got this laptop. That's like the exact moment where everything stopped. Was whenever I got this laptop back in 2013, about May. And as a result, I want to go through all of the albums from the top 50s or 35s from the past 6 years and listen to them again so they scrabble. Try to get a little bit more of an accurate representation of what I've been doing the past 6 years, which is going to be impossible, by the way. But I'm stupid enough to try to take these things on. Plus, it's fun to go back through some of this stuff. But at any rate, I listened today to Surgical Steel by Carcass for the first time in quite some time. And man, that album is delicious. Can I just say, that album is delicious. Absolutely wonderful. 100% worthy of the album of the year that I got back in 2013. That's how you do a comeback album, folks. That is how you do a comeback album. You'll have to forgive me for the next couple of minutes. One of the things that has been my salvation while ill has been vitamin C. And so that's what those are. Those are vitamin C supplements. Highly recommend it if you ever find yourself really under the weather. Vitamin C will perk you right up. To the point where you can at least get a couple things done during the day. But sometimes it's best just to rest. That's what I did yesterday. I just rested yesterday, man. I felt great afterward. My favorite Death album is Symbolic. I just absolutely adore that disc. It's amazing. It wasn't the first Death album I got. I originally first got The Sound of Perseverance, but Symbolic for me just felt like the pinnacle. War with Reality, At the Gates, or Formation of Damnation by Testament. I'll get there eventually. At War with Reality, I know made the list. Both of them made the list, actually. Hi, Maru. How are you doing? Speaking of David, and let's go ahead and listen to it because like, regardless of, I'm not even going to go with the music video, I'm just going to go with the song. This is a bit, Machine Head was a group that, back whenever I was younger, I liked them. I liked them. I only ever had Burn My Eyes. In fact, I never did get another one of their albums until The Blackening. So, that's just how it goes. But I remember whenever I got this album, I listened to it from front to back and side to side. I really liked it. Tracks like Old, David In, Realize. There's just a lot of great songs on this disc. Burn My Eyes is definitely a killer. I'd say that it's right up there among their elite pantheon. I don't do a lot with violence, so I can't really say much, Brad, unfortunately. But in the 90s, aggressive music videos for metal songs were pretty much the norm. So, I hate to say that it's like a product of a different time, but it's very accurate that that's exactly what it is. There is a lot of, you have to remember that there is a lot of buffer between what was going on in 1995 and what's going on here today in 2019. It doesn't necessarily excuse it, but what we were doing in 1995, or what was considered offensive in 95, was very different. Times change. We cannot retroactively damn things that we cannot change. Because you cannot go back and change history. You cannot go back and change time. At least, we haven't built the time machine yet. When can you have some sleep? I don't know. How about I'll lay down my head, and you can lay down yours, and we'll sleep together. Meaning heavily violent? Not necessarily. I wouldn't say that necessarily. There were a lot of bands in the 90s that did have that twinge to their sound. There's a lot of stuff out there that is just violent for the hell of it. But again, you have to kind of look at music you have to look at music within a certain artistic principle where, like, I always remember reading this interview with Cannibal Corpse, who was getting a lot of, they received a lot of controversy because of their lyricism, and they basically just stated very simply, they're like, hey, we're some of the most mild-mannered people you'll ever meet if you, like, actually come up and talk to us. We just really, really like, old, like, horror films, and want our songs to be like little mini horror movies. And that's it. We just put those in sonic form instead of, we're not filmmakers, so we can't do that. So, I always like that. I always really like that. Hey, Lord, what's your heart? I'm doing alright. We ain't doing alright. Yeah, there was a lot of shock value that was in there. A lot of that was just done because that's what they, it's the type of music that they really liked. They liked to take things to the extreme. They wanted to take it as far as they possibly could. That's what it was all about. Was Black Album that great in Metallica's discography? Yeah, it's out there. Yeah, I think it was a really strong disc. I think it gets a lot of unnecessary hate. That's an album that you can still go back and listen to this day, and it sounds just as good as maybe the first time you ever heard it. It's just a lot of fun. One thing I love in music are albums that I can turn on and I can just enjoy, like not even think about things, That's the one fun part, is whenever I turn off the review side of my brain and I just listen to something and just get to, bob my head to it or, react to it. if I listen to an album and after a couple of tracks I immediately want to switch to something else, there's one of three reasons why that happens. One, something else comes to mind and my brain goes a little like ADD and immediately wants to hear it before it forgets. Two, I get inspired by something, or something in my surroundings prompts the change, like I'm talking with somebody and I want to show them this new thing that we maybe have turned to the discussion toward whenever we're doing that while listening to tunes. Or three, it's not that good of an album, or it's not keeping my attention. So I mean, everybody listens to things a little bit differently. Everybody enjoys things that are a little bit different, Like, we could easily go from that. We could easily go from Machine Head over to what we're about to pop on here, which is a little Blutos Nord with Nomos Nebulum off their brand new album, which is being preceded by a Disney commercial, which is hysterical to me. And a car commercial. What the fuck? I could skip none of these. Damn you, YouTube. The Hallucinogen's an amazing album. Just came out a couple weeks ago. It's real good stuff. But if you have the ability to go from one extreme to the other and you're still having fun doing it, then, just bless you. That's all I can say, because that is, for a lot of people, that's very off-putting. Myself personally, I love the variety. I love dancing between different genres and different styles. Even if it's not just within the heavy metal landscape, even if it goes to other places and other styles of music, I just love dancing around different things. How you doing, Ross? Hello from the U.S., Pennsylvania specifically. You're having buffering problems? My guess would be, I have no drop frames. In fact, everything's been perfect for me, so I would say reload. I reload. Just give it a refresh. We're just going to stream for a little bit tonight. Like I said, I was thinking maybe I would catch Meatmun, but he has been sick as well. I think he got it a lot worse than I did. So we may actually not get into the discography this evening. And if that's the case, that's okay. We can get to it eventually. There's no problem with that. The discography, by the way, is Vector. I'll have to check out that Oraltos album. I feel like I sampled one song from that, and I just don't... I didn't get a chance to check out the whole thing. I'd have to look through the long list of stuff that I've sampled on Spotify in the past couple weeks. Why do people hate diversity? I don't know. That's one thing I never understood. I noticed that if I go on long stretches where I listen to nothing but heavy metal, near the end of that stretch I get really bored of it. Like, I get really bored of it, either that or I will continuously go back to a couple of root artists. There'll be a couple that will just continuously be my sort of saving grace, that will root me. And then I'll want to go like a couple of days and listen to like the Crystal Method, or listen to like Portugal the Man, or Joe Bonamassa, Beth Hart. I'll even want to toss on maybe some old school like 90s pop, even like Seal or Boyz II Men, or New Edition. Or I want to go back to the 70s and listen to stuff from Kansas and Yes, or Jerry Rafferty, maybe even go all the way back further and go as far back as Herman's Hermits. And I can't. Standing still for too long for me is just a mistake. And I think that if you love music, standing still with one genre all the time is a great way, or an easy way, to kind of get burnt out on it. And I think you miss out on a lot of great stuff if you do that. You know, there is actually some rap that I can turn to all the time, and it's like being transformed into another mindset. For a long time, whenever I was working at a music store, I would go to I would play First of the Month by Bone Thugs and Harmony without fail. I would play Bone Thugs and Harmony's First of the Month because we had a lot of those freaking welfare bums that would come in and shit. Lurk and Lurch is hiding in the shadows and just made a drop. Very good. $10 from Lurch Murphy wants to hear Fall from the Skies by Vanden Plas off of their brand new album that just came out. God, it was this past weekend. I need to get out my log because I need to tell you, Mr. Lurch. 23.37 out of 30. Very, very good album, The Ghost Experiment. Full title of the new Vanden Plas album, The Ghost Experiment - Awakening. It's part 1. So this is a 2-part album that we will be receiving from the guys. That album actually did just a little bit better than this album that we're taking a song from right now, which is Hallucinogen by Lutos Nord. But then has a new album coming out. Leprous is very soon. Leprous is extremely soon. This week, I think. But thanks to Lurch. I'm in holes. How many people here have heard Vanden Plas before? How many people here have heard Vanden Plas before? Do we do that now? Ah, we do. My FPS died down all the way to 4. There we go. We should be good. Question was if you'd ever heard the band Vanden Plas before. Ha! Lurch is like, I have. Everyone say hello to your friendly neighborhood mod, Lurch Murphy. Lurk and Lurch, as we call him. Hockey extraordinaire, master of the prog. Fall from the Skies by Vanden Plas coming up next. These guys, they've been around for quite a bit. They have some really good stuff in the 90s that should be checked out by any interested party in the progscape, the progosphere. Their singer, for example, has done essentially the European equivalent of Broadway. And did a sterling rendition of the song Gethsemane, which was from, I believe, Jesus Christ Superstar. It was a Andrew Lloyd Webber composition that he did a take on, which is orgasmic. It is absolutely orgasmic. That's true. Lurch has been busy. Mango's not saying hi. She's being saucy today. She's being saucy. I understand that feeling, man. I have the bad problem of keeping Facebook on my phone, like in the background, and not being there. I do that all the time. I'm shit at that. And I think at this point it's become so rooted into my freaking subconscious that it's just never going to change. Well, the band themselves are not necessarily Christian. It's just that they did happen to do he did do a cover of the song from Jesus Christ Superstar. They do have some minor points here and there. I wish Andrew Bennett was here. If y'all remember Andrew Bennett, you old heads, remember him from the old streams from about 10 years ago. That dude could tell you exactly whether or not a band had Christian overtones or not. Hi, Group of Squad. This is Fall from the Skies by Vanden Plas. Do I listen to soundtracks for fun? I will do that from time to time. It's not as prominent as it used to be. If it's orchestrated, there's a good chance I might like it. Video game soundtracks I listen to a little more frequently than I once did. I tend to, if I happen to hear something whenever I'm either in a stream and I like a game sound design, I will try to scope it out if it's available. A couple that I've been addicted to have been VVV, and La Mulana. So that is something that has been fun lately. Jake Kaufman does some terrific work. He's worked on games such as Shovel Knight, as well as the remastered version of DuckTales. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name, but there was a composer that did The Binding of Isaac. The original soundtrack was pretty subtle and pretty well done. There were a lot of great remixes and remakes that were done for Rebirth, including a couple that made it all the way to the DLCs and the different patches that they did. That included Afterbirth, that added extra alternate rooms and things like that. Hey! Lurch is going to be 21 years old. He's going to be 21 years old this weekend. Wink, wink. I will not be streaming this weekend. Because this weekend I will be tentatively going to Akron. I'll be going to visit with my tech department with Lettuce Death. And I am extremely excited. I cannot wait. Well, that's fair. That is absolutely fair, Lurch, man. You guys doing anything special, or are you just gonna kind of hang out and get crunk? Dude, happy freaking birthday, though. Early birthday. Considering y'all were always so kind to me whenever I had my birthday streams. That was always a kick. Yeah, we'll probably stream one more time prior to the weekend, prior to me leaving. Because I wouldn't be going probably till Saturday. Now, see, the funny thing about opera, some opera can be pretty cool. I had to listen to my fair share whenever I was in college, considering I took a couple of music appreciation classes, as well as I was in a music fraternity, so I was always around the boys whenever they were doing assignments or different things for either theater or for their studies. You know, I was one of the very few in the fraternity that did not have a major that was music-based. I was kind of the outlier in that department. But as a result, you end up listening to things such as Carmen and gain a great appreciation for it, to the point where, like, you go back and watch the episode of Hey Arnold that basically just took that opera and gave it Hey Arnold characters, and you grow to really, really appreciate that. One thing I enjoyed a lot more, I think, was solo performances. So whenever folks would have to show their chops, especially the saxophones. Oh, the saxophone solos were always terrific. they were always just very terrific. Piano, we had an excellent pianist who now I believe is doing session work with some groups here and there. He's traveling. He's done a lot for himself. Dude was a freaking prodigy. I met him whenever he was not even old enough to be in college because his father was one of the professors. And the minute I heard him play, like he was playing with the college ensemble, with their like jazz ensemble before he was even going to the school. It's crazy. I don't know anything about those rising signs, falling signs, you know, Gemini sun, whatever moon, whatever stars, whatever, groundswell. I might be like an Aquarius on Tuesday between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. I don't know. I don't know damn shit about that. Like, I really don't understand what that's all about. Back in my day, damn it, all you did was you opened up the little newspaper and they had the little horoscopes there and you read something and you either went about your day with dread or with happiness. See, an opera though, like, I think that'd be really neat. I've seen symphony orchestras a number of times, and they're always a blast. Letasteth and I actually joked about just freaking stowing away to Chicago to go see their symphony orchestra was doing, I think it was the music of The Legend of Zelda, and we talked about stowing away to go and check that out, but we never did get the opportunity. I don't know. I think it's just be a lot of any sort of performance like that is just a blast. It's just really fun. Even if you see like fife and drum ensembles. A couple weeks back, I went to Festival, which is local. It happens at a place called Friendship Hill, which was oh gosh, now I need to remember the stupid name. See, I didn't go to this place as a kid, so I didn't get all the history and that crap. But it was Albert Gallatin. It was his home, and of course, as a result, they did a lot of things that were similar to colonial times. And one was the fife and drum, the marches that they did for the Revolutionary War, which was pretty cool. Hi, you're fun. How you doing? I'm an Aquarius rising? Oh dear. Is this Threshold? No, this is Vanden Plas with Fall from the Skies. Off of the Ghost Experiment, Awakening. Brand new album from Vanden Plas just came out this past weekend. There is a little similarity to that As I Am riff, just a tad, but hey, take me as I am. Take me as I am, baby. Ladies. But yeah, I will actually, considering we are in the Vanden Plas, I'm just going to go ahead and play their version of Gethsemane because this is ridiculous. If you want to know, if you want to see vocal range, here you go. Enjoy the piss out of this because it is going to blow your mind. It is going to blow your damn mind. So we're going to go with 2 straight Vanden Plas tracks. Thanks again to Lurch, who the soon-to-be birthday boy, for dropping the donation for that track. If you do want to get a song in, it's $1 per minute. You can either use the donation link that's underneath my name, which is via PayPal, which you can't see because, god damn it, what the hell? Now you can. Or you can utilize Super Chat if you desire. Because the year-end list this year going to be, I'm going to do my best to make it 50. I'm going to do my best to make it 50. I don't see any reason not to. Because my number of albums listened to is starting to really balloon. I think I've finally exceeded 100. Oh, I know that I have. Because like I said, there's some things that haven't been logged that I have listened to. I've been listening to a fuck ton. And I need to do a lot of retroactive listening from the 4 months that I wasn't doing much. Yeah, we do have the new Alter Bridge. That is very true. That is going to be a big one after the last one was kind of I wasn't as big on that album. I'm hoping for a nice return to form. I know they have a single out. I haven't checked it out yet. I'm totally a bad coverkillernation because I have started to get very pleased with the idea of checking out singles on Spotify and listening to music on Spotify. I know it's very unlike me, but with Last.fm, it's very, very handy. It's very handy. Plus, I still have all my albums, you know. I'm going to listen to that in the car. I'm going to listen to that any place else that I go. It's crazy. Why is Robb Flynn being such an immature person? Ross, I have not a clue. I really don't know what's happened to the man. It just seems like... what was funny is that Bloodstone and Diamonds came out. And it was like, considering it got lukewarm reviews, like it was approached sort of lukewarm, and then stuff happened with Phil and Selmo, with the whole racism thing, and then like something broke in Rob's brain. I don't know. It's weird. My Halloween costume this year will probably be Cat Dad. I don't know. I really don't do much for that anymore. It was always fun whenever, what'll be more fun for me is that this will be the last year that I'll be able to see the neighbors' kids do their Halloween deal. The little girl is cute as a button, and her new brother, this will be his first Halloween. But then I'll be moving, so that'll be the last opportunity I'll get to see them do their thing, because they used to always parade down the alley back there and have a good time. So that's about it. Back whenever Faith's brother was living here, his kids would come over in their costumes and they'd do all that. No, I had more fun looking outside, I'll be honest. It's weird. And I could be a black cat. At one point, a number of years ago, I went as a zombified version of the cat from Red Dwarf. That was pretty easy to do. You just need a snazzy jacket, some face paint, and then you just act like a retard. That costume was very, very low maintenance, low cost. Andy Nuts. Gethsemane from Vanden Plas. I bought a little heartwork from Carcass. Let's jump over there. Oh no. Another heavy metal song that's being preceded by Disney. It looks and sounds so weird. Yeah, the song prior was Gethsemane from Vanden Plas. Earphone, I do not sell my vinyl now. I have some old, like, doubles of 70s, like, some old 70s stuff that I got rid of a while back, but no longer. Yep, 24-17. That is a Steelers victory. Put it in chat. Yep. There you go. Absolutely tremendous band. Very, very good stuff. Hey, no problem, Michael. Not a problem. Yeah, the game did cost us Stephon to it, but our defense was doing pretty well until that fourth quarter, and I think they just were going soft. They've all gone missing again. Nope, there it is. It just appeared. You can tell by the whack. Thanks in advance, Mara. We know that has been preceded. Mara, though, dropping us $18, wants to hear 2 tracks, wants to hear Apocalyptica, Ashes of Modern World, and Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Ghosteen. Ooh, nice duality right there. Enjoy that duality. Thank you very much to Maru. Absolutely wonderful, as per usual. We'll get those in, and I think it's going to be a real short stream today. I really think so. After those couple of tracks, we may or may not be heading out. Wanted to get this in just a little bit for y'all, and just in case Meatman was around. But I have a feeling that he is not feeling very good, so maybe what we'll do is we'll give this another shot on Thursday. I got some stuff going on tomorrow that's going to leave me incapable, and I do have some stuff tonight that I still need to get to. So, apologies for the shorter stream this evening. Warcrazer, I am by no means an encyclopedia of rock and metal. I just have a lot of info that I remember from listening to a ton of this stuff whenever I was in college, and do also partake in quite a bit of information here and there. I love reading about the stuff. It's very interesting to me. I'm not perfect with names. I'm not perfect with titles. You know, I do a lot of stuff in one take. I'm very lazy with my production, but, you know, for 11 years that got me by, and I appreciate it, dude. I appreciate it, Warcrazer. I think Jeff Loomis will contribute to the songwriting on the next Arch Enemy album. I really hope so. I hope that we do hear more of that, because the stuff has been... I don't know. I feel like the stuff that he has played hasn't really been Loomis quality. I really don't think that it's been up to quality. Have I ever thought about my own radio station? I have. But again, it's the question of time, it's the question of how challenging that would be to actually get started. And that is a very, very good good word to use for that. Well, he is wasting away in that band. And he was caught. He was stuck. There was a potential for a Nevermore reunion that was blocked because of Angela and Arch Enemy. So, I mean, that's all that really needs to be stated. That's all that needs to be said. It's sad. It's a horrible situation that happened there, and that for me would be... that would be the reason why I would just want to get out. Ashes of the Modern World by Apocalyptica. Coming up next for your ear holes. We're going to silence that Grammarly ad because Grammarly sucks dick. I think Evil Toad brings on the Grammarly. So I see he just showed up. Oh boy. But yeah, hey Evil Toad, how you doing today, brother? Hope the job has been going well for you. Kind of doing a little shorty stream this evening. Getting a couple of songs played by Maru, and then we may actually be heading out for the night. Dude had the new video that just dropped reacting to the Robb Flynn debacle, which was fun to make, I have to admit, but at the same time, by the time I got to the end of it, you just kind of feel almost bad for the guy. You don't feel bad for the things that he said and really the way in which he's being a dick. But you just kind of feel like... You almost feel like you're poking at a very vulnerable child. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like it's like poking a vulnerable child. You know, kicking a man when he's down. But, he's not exactly endearing himself. He's basically inviting it at this stage. The minute that he took to social media and wrote that lengthy-ass post, that was just... Basically everything that he stated in the song became nullified. It all became nullified. There you go, Evil Toad. I'm sure that you will. You're a smart dude. Anything that they need you to do, I'm sure you could probably pull off, or at least learn. You know, learning is the big thing. Always be willing to learn on the job. You know, one thing that we all worry about is we all think, shoot, you know, if we're not able to do a job immediately, we're going to lose our job. But a lot of places out there, you know, they hire you. They see the potential that you're adaptable. You're able to learn. You're able to take on those different jobs, and that you'll get real good at them. If you got a good group of work buddies, hell yeah, that's what's up. That is what's up. Freestyle battle with Fred Durst and Robb Flynn. The battle that we didn't think we needed. Probably still don't. That is a good pick, Lurch. Yeah, Witherfall is a bit of a super group, super project. It also features Jake Dyer, formerly of Iced Earth. There are a lot of jobs that are still, like, the sad thing is that it's like they don't know how to approach it. You know, I went to school and I have a degree in business management, and I think that one thing that you have to be able to do as a manager, or one thing that you need to be able to do as a business owner, is adapt for the times and recognize that there are some folks that are out there that are going to have some conditions, or that are going to have some health difficulty. And all you have to do is ensure that you can keep them focused, keep them motivated, and help them when you can. You know, I understand that deadlines are a thing. Deadlines are extremely important. But if you're able to motivate somebody and make them really fall in love with what they do, there's a lot of things and a lot of people out there that are going to want to do that work. There's a gentleman that... he used to come into the music store all the time, and he used to, he wasn't very proficient with math, he was not great with eye contact. I don't think he had autism, if I'm being honest. I think that he was a wrestler on a high school wrestling team and was either in a car accident or had some sort of serious brain-related injury. because what he would do is he would buy one DVD at a time, and he would pay with the money that he had until there was none left. So you would give him the change, and then he would give you the change back with the next DVD. You know, he didn't understand addition, or like that became lost to him. And I tried to help him with that one day, which actually went pretty well. He ended up getting a job actually right down the street from me at St. Vincent de Paul. Essentially what he does is that all the donations that are out on the outside of the building, he still is very strong. So he simply moves the donations from the outside to the inside, where the workers, who are all mostly older ladies and older gentlemen, can sort through them and get them out onto the sales floor. So he is he's very functioning. Oh, Jake is still there? That's my bad. This is Ashes of the Modern World by Apocalyptica, Evil Toad. But yes, I actually have a funny story about that guy, and again, this is not making fun. I want you to know this isn't making fun. This is all the endearment I can potentially offer to this cat, because listen, if you give somebody a memory like this, I'm citing this story 5 years after it happened, that means that it meant something to you, and it was something that really made you smile. I think I may have told this story before. I'm unclear or unsure if I have. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Ghostine. We're going to get this going first before I tell the story. So I'll just tell you right out of the gate, the guy's name is Mike. I know a lot of Mikes. There's a lot of Mikes around this area. My former manager's name is Mike. You know, there's Mikes everywhere. You know, Mike's Hard Lemonade too. But do have $1 from Justin Neely. Am I taking requests? I can take one or two more. Sure, man. Yeah, I could. Well, it's a good thing we're keeping this kind of short, because the echo is happening fierce. Anyway, so I was working at the store, and Mike comes in. He's doing his typical thing, but he's doing things a little bit differently. As I stated formerly, how he would purchase DVDs is that he would grab one that he wanted. He'd have like $20 in cash. And he's a big wrestling fan. He was a big WWE guy, so he would buy the used copies of old wrestling shows, old wrestling DVDs. So he'd go and he'd get one. He'd bring it up to the register. He would pay for it. It'd be like $3.99. So his $20 all of a sudden would go down to like $15.85 because of tax or whatever it was. So then he would go, instead of walking out, he would go right back to the section. He would pick out something else, and he'd bring that up. Now, one thing I hate about stores that are chains is that they are super duper uber concerned about how many units are in each order and what the average sale price, or, sale amount is and stuff like this. I think it's bullshit, because either way you're getting the money. Either way someone is paying for products that are in your store. I don't think it should matter. So basically what the store wants you to do is, instead of having someone like this come up and back 4 different times for 4 transactions of one item, they want you to build the basket and make it one transaction with 4 items and a $20 average sale. It's bleh. It's crap. Personally speaking, if somebody spent all day in my store and had 17 different transactions, I wouldn't give a shit. I wouldn't care. they're dropping like $200 in my store. I don't give a crap if it happens with one sale or with 20. You know, whatever. But anyway, this time, instead of bringing up just one, he brought up like 5. And I'm thinking, well, that's different. Typically, this guy goes one at a time. Did he, like, take a math class? Or, like, has he been working on this? You know, what's the deal? I wasn't sure what had happened. What ended up happening was that his mother had given him her either debit or credit card. I believe it was like a bank card. And so he gives me this bank card, and I'm thinking, he has a bank account now. Okay, that's good. That's good stuff. You know, or maybe it's like I don't know. It's not my job to look down at the card and, you know, discover, hey, is this a bank card? Is this a, you know, what the hell is this? You know, it looked like standard issue plastic. Anybody could have it. So I do the swipe and everything like that, and our system at that point was to the, it didn't do debit, so it only did credit. So you were only able to do credit and sign for it. So he had to sign for it. And I found out it was his mom's card because he signed it as, and I quote, in big block English letters, Mike's mom. The stars of your eyes. I wanted to make a copy of that and frame it because it was amazing. Imagine this. You're looking for someone's signature and all you get is Mike's mom. I expected what would have happened. I expected his mom was going to come in, return the DVDs very, very angrily, and, you know, that would be that. But no, this was the expectation. This is Ghost Teen by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. And again, I tell this story with complete endearment toward Mike because the kid is legitimately, like, he doesn't talk much. He seems like he's kind of nervous in social situations, but he is just the nicest kid you're ever going to find. I've taken stuff to St. Vincent de Paul multiple times just this year alone, always seen him, always said hello. I've given some of my stuff directly to him so he could take it straight inside. I mean, he's just a great kid. He's a great kid. The Gorky Guard new album, I probably won't be reviewing it. If you check out my review of Baby Metal's Metal Galaxy, there is a score that I do have for the album. It's in the middle portion of the review, if you're curious as to what I thought about it. But unfortunately, no, I'm probably not going to get to that in a physical video review. Yeah, I might do one or two more requests, and then we'll probably head out, especially if we're having some difficulties with echo and everything this evening, as it seems like we are. So, might be better off to hold off maybe till Thursday. Thursday will probably be the next day that I stream. It'll go for a lot longer than this. I just wanted to really get back into it a little bit. Talk with you guys a little bit about Robb Flynn and that whole situation. Again, making that video almost felt like kicking a man whenever he was down, but it was kind of necessary because I feel like I was called out by a man-child. If you haven't seen the post, check it out. It's on the official Cover Killer Nation Facebook group. Definitely check that out. I felt like I was called out because he made direct reference to Baby Metal, considering I talked about Baby Metal the video before, and I talked about Do or Die, so it was probably right on the right hand side as the recommended next video. It is something that was just needed. It was required. Nick Cave, by the way, is glorious. Tremendously understated sometimes, but always big mood. I'm trying to remember the first Cave song I ever heard. It has been a while. I do know that the first time I heard Black Rebel Motorcycle Club was back at the same CD, actually, that I heard Opeth for the first time. It was an old CMG disc that came with a magazine that I had purchased. But again, if you want to listen to more of this, the album is also called Ghosteen. The album has the same name, same title as the track. It is really one of a kind. First Foghat song I heard was Slow Ride, the traditional one that everybody hears first. And I did indeed take it easy. Yeah, one thing that I think might turn some folks off to these streams, but something that is extremely true of these streams, is that I don't play just heavy metal stuff. I play a little bit of everything in here. Like, we've done some theme streams, we've done bad song streams, guilty pleasure streams, 90s alternative streams, or just alternative streams in general. You can go all the way back to the 80s with that. Vladimir Cochet, I haven't listened to a single thing from that. See you later, Lurch. Take care, Evil Toad. Alright, man, I'll see you on Thursday. But yeah, I think I'm going to be heading out after this as well. So, Justin, if you have a couple of suggestions or requests, I'd maybe hold off until Thursday, my friend, if you happen to be around. We'll also hopefully have Meat Mun in our presence on Thursday. I hope that he is doing okay, actually. Like I said, he had the entire Vector discography on tap from about a week and a half ago, but just like myself, he also got just horribly sick. To the point that he was actually here on Saturday and we were beginning the Vector discography, and he fell asleep before we even started it. He passed out while we were listening to the tail end of Illuminate the Path by An Abstract Illusion. Scorn the Snake, I'm going to toss up some horns for you as well. Thursday we're going to try to get, we'll get started a little bit earlier. I will probably not have a video to put out. Well, every road is lined with animals that rise from there. I shouldn't have a video to put out on Thursday. I'm going to be working tomorrow on some backlog stuff. Do one stream of underrated bands that influenced many. That to me would be one where I would require a lot of audience participation with requests, and maybe have a couple of cool incentives attached to it. We don't have anything, or haven't done anything for October as of yet. But there you go. Oh. That's Ghosteen by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. A giant screaming machine head. Connor is a funny boy. He's a funny man. He's the most influential man ever. I've never seen anybody more influential. Now, I sound like a Donald Trump speech. Nobody's been more influential than me. bigly. Anyway, ladies and gents, I will. Monday Morning Apocalypse is a pretty decent album. Evergrey in general is great. Evergrey in general is great. But that's going to do it for tonight. I apologize for this one being a little bit short, but we are sort of just hanging out a little bit after the video dropped. If you want to do me a favor, if you want to be a real pal, go check out the reaction video to the Robb Flynn post and post it around on your Facebooks, on your Twitters, on your Instagrams, your social medias. Share it around. Let's get this out there to the people. And I will talk to you guys on Thursday. That'll be the next day that we will stream. We'll probably start around 3:30ish, maybe a little bit earlier than that. We'll see. I'll see you guys then. Take care and have a good night. Thanks for stopping out.